All right, guys, today is your lucky day for the free ski. I'm going to show you how to sell beats online without BeatStars, without Bandcamp, without TrackTrain, without Airbit, without all the, platforms that everybody keeps preaching about. Look, guys, the main reason you want your own platform is because you want to own the relationship between you and your customer. You want to own the domain for SEO purposes. You want to be able to customize your website. You want to be able to keep up on the latest and greatest features that Shopify has that other sites don't have. You want to be able to scale up, on a trusted site. You want to have the security of Shopify. So there's a million reasons, okay, why you should own your own platform. Now, even if you guys go to, I think it's shopify.com, you can get started. Let me show you guys. All right, so here's a page with their prices. For example, if you go to pay monthly, it says $39 per month, but this is after the free trial. So if you go to where it says try for free, it should say gives you 3 days free and then 3 months. 3 months, guys. That's a whole quarter, okay, for $1 a month. That's $3 to use Shopify. So it's basically free. Okay, so you can get started basically for free. Okay, give yourself at least 3 months to believe in yourself. Now, once you guys have your Shopify account, you just have to link your bank information. And I cover the step-by-step at busyworksbeats.com/premium. Let me pull up the course for you guys. So if you guys truly want the step-by-step, like literally every single step, it's called the Faceless Type Beat course. Okay, this course goes through every single step, literally every single step about how to do all this. But today I got to, make a YouTube video about it. So get Shopify. It's basically free. After that, you want to get this app called Osaria Audio Player. Okay, the reason we have this is so that people can demonstrate our song as they're on the product page. So once you follow the setup instructions using this, it's pretty simple from what I remember. Again, I show you guys the step-by-step in the course on how to do all this stuff. All right, so just follow the installation guide. It guides you through it. Now, once you have that, you want to create what's called a product. So the product in this case, let's create a new product. Let's say we want to put this 50 Cent song. Let me find this song real quick. All right, so the main thing this needs is an MP3. Okay, so we're going to use the MP3 for the online version, and then we can always deliver the customer the WAV file. But for now, we're just going to go to where it says MP3 of this song, and we're going to put this song up. So let's name this, let's name it, the song is called I Love You, and then it's a 50 Cent. You could put type beat if you want, whatever your language is for your website. And next, we need to give this product artwork. So here's where we're going to use an app called Gemini by Google. This is the best, in my opinion, image generator on the planet. So let's go to where it says Gemini. Let's go to where it says create image. And here's where we're going to get fancy. We're going to go Google the word 50 Cent. We're going to take his Spotify image, his really, classic Spotify image. Let's add this into Gemini. And then we want a different background. So let's say we want like a New York. So let's type in New York alleyway. Really, we don't even have to Google the actual image, but let's say you want something specific like this alleyway right here. It looks pretty grimy. Now, this says iStock, so we're not going to use that one specifically, but let's go back to Gemini. Let's hit paste and say create a 1:1, which means a box ratio, square ratio image of 50 Cent in front of a dark alleyway like this. Don't use the same exact alleyway. And make colors harmonious, if I spelled that right. Okay, then we're going to put this, I don't know if being on Pro matters or not for the Nano Banana model, but we're going to click on where it says Banana. That's what it's called, Nano Banana. The newer model is called Nano Banana Pro. Again, this is the greatest image generator on the planet, in my opinion. Now, the only caveat is when you run it through Gemini, it adds a little, watermark on the image. If you guys you understand APIs, you go to sites like fall.ai and all the other hosts. Apparently, if you run their generations, they don't have the watermark when you run what's called the API. For beginners, you guys don't need to worry about all this. The main thing is we're going to generate an image with 50 Cent and background. That took seconds. Look at this, y'all. And it's not the same exact background. All right, so we're going to take this, we're going to download this. Now I'm going to take it into Photoshop just to get rid of this watermark. I'm sure somebody created a site where you guys could probably just take it on the website. I don't know, I haven't surfed the web for that, but I normally just do this in Photoshop. All right, so all we have to do is just left click and drag this image straight into Photoshop. It should open automatically. All right, now all I want to do is just zoom in, hit L. Now also Google Gemini upscales it for you. So look how crisp and detailed this image is. You don't even need an upscaler anymore. All right, so what we're going to do is just zoom in and use the lasso tool, I believe it's called. And then we're going to hit J or Shift J to cycle through the healing tools. And we want to go to what's called the remove tool. And that should be able to remove that little watermark just like that. All we got to do is just export this again without the watermark. Boom, that simple. Now we have our product art in a matter of seconds, y'all. Okay, let's call it 50 cent type beat. Okay, boom. Now we go back to our Shopify. Look how simple this is. Like the hardest part is making the beat. So here's the beat. All right, so let's go back to Shopify. The song is called I Love You. Let's upload the media here, which is our thumbnail. Let's go. So literally, y'all, that's how easy this is. Now the description, normally I would put the key. Now I don't know the key off the top of my head, so I'm not gonna sit here and bore you guys to tears about the key. Actually, let me figure this out real quick. All right, so the scale says F sharp minor. So we're gonna go back and put the key as F sharp minor. Very important to use tools like Scalar and use your ear, not to run it through some auto detect plugins, because those are usually wrong. And you don't want the artist to have the wrong key, because if they have the wrong key and they put that into auto-tune, they'll always sound out of key, and they might even ask for refunds because they're like, why does this beat not? So you just don't want to put the wrong key. If you don't know the key, just put unknown. Okay, just don't make up a key that is wrong. Okay, next we need the BPM. So I'm going to open up FL Studio to do this here. So in FL, whoa, two mics going on. So in FL Studio, I have the we can right click the tempo and tap it out. So this is what I use. So somewhere around 91, if I had to guess. So it's definitely 91 BPM. And we could be off by a hair, but it's best that we don't just guess. So in this case, we're going to put BPM 91 BPM. Or actually, let's put tempo 91 BPM. Okay, so we have the key F sharp minor, and then we have the tempo. Now, if you guys have any specific language, like, you know, commercial, I'll show you guys the other checkout pages. So what do we have so far? We have the name of the beat. We have the artwork for the beat. We have the key. We have the tempo. I use Scalar to find the key. This is from Plugin Boutique. I have the tempo. I just use FL Studio's Tap the Tempo. And all we need to do is set a price. Now, from what I show you guys in the course, I show you how to set up basically the difference between your commercial license versus your free license. So in this case, we're not going to track inventory because it's not a physical product. Okay. But we do have to set up what are called variants. Okay. Because basically, depending on which version people order, we'll send them something different. All that being said, we have to create what's called a variant so that we can send people. Okay. So let's go to where it says variant. Let's click here. And then we need to figure out the different topics here. So variants may seem more complicated when you are first doing it, but what we're going to do is just copy some information from our first listing here. So let's copy this text. Basically, we're just telling people the free version is going to be an MP3. The paid version is going to be the WAV version. And we're going to deliver the non-mastered version, the mastered version, and multi-tracks, and the MP3 if they purchase the full version. Okay, so let's go back to our other product. And all we're going to do is just paste that extra text. So not only are we giving them the key, the tempo, we're also telling them the difference between free and commercial. You might even want to make this obvious through bolding these like that. So what do we have so far? We have the title of the song. We have the details of the song, the key, the BPM. We have the difference between the free version and the paid version. Okay. And we have the artwork. And nextly, we need to set what's called a category. Now, by default, this should automatically do this. Let me see if this one labeled it correctly. So it's called digital music downloads. So this should automatically populate, but if it doesn't populate, you have to just figure out the categories for it. So it's under media, music, and sound recordings. So let's go all the way back to the beginning. So here, if your thing doesn't auto-populate, go all the way back, go to where it says media. And we need to go to the subcategories, go to music and sound recordings, and then we're going to go to digital music downloads. Okay. Now there's another category called digital downloads, but for now we're just going to type in digital music downloads. This helps Shopify categorize the transaction and the product type. So here, instead of the price, we're going to go to where we see, if we're going to scroll down to where we see variant. So variant, we're going to create a custom option here. And the difference is we're going to have two different licenses. And this is what I show you guys on the in the full course. I show you guys how to set up your agreements and all this stuff. So let's go to our demo site here, and there's license agreements here that I show you guys how to draft this. Pretty simple. Okay. So it describes all the definitions here, free license versus commercial license. Okay. So we're going to go back to the product again. What do we have so far? We have the name, the description of the song, the artwork with 50 Cent. We have, and then here, we could just scroll down. We're going to turn off inventory, turn off shipping. We're going to go to where it says variant, option name. We're going to type in license. And now we're going to say, I think the other one, let me make sure I'm using the exact words. Okay, so I use the word free license. Okay, and then we're going to add another value here called commercial license. Let's hit done. And I believe we can set 2 different prices per these licenses. So let's figure out, okay, so if you scroll down, once you have these 2 license options, these are basically like saying, okay, do I want a large shirt or a medium shirt? And you could set price differences between those 2 things. So under the free license, it's going to be $0. Now under the paid license, it's going to be $49.99. And it looks like we can even change the artwork for the paid version. So maybe we can go into Photoshop or even Gemini and say, add the text paid in red font like a stamp over this art. Okay, I'm being very vague because I just want to see what it does. But I'm thinking in my head like a stencil. That was the word I was looking for. Like a stencil. You put in the stencil, you spray paint it. But we'll see what it comes up with, even though I was being super vague. All right, so I knew exactly what I wanted, which is crazy. I didn't even give it that much detail. So we're going to download this. Sometimes Google, I've noticed, doesn't download the correct image. It just depends. So it has been having weird issues. So if it ever messes up your download, what you could do is just right click, open image in new tab. In this case, we're going to copy the image. We're going to paste it into Photoshop and just make this full screen, hit Alt. Now the difference here is you're not going to get it upscaled. So that's like a backup version if for whatever reason it does not download. Okay, so here's the full upscale version. We're going to drag this into Photoshop. Again, the main thing here is that we don't have this Gemini taken out. So let's hit L for lasso tool. We're going to loop around it just like this, hit J, go to the remove tool, and then boom. In a matter of seconds, we're going to remove that watermark just like that. So yeah, it's more prudent that you guys download the actual full image from Gemini because it will upscale it. So for example, if I zoom in, you can see how crisp his face looks. Now here's, if you did that copy and paste method, it does not look as crisp. So there's a reason why that, you know, the copy and paste is like a final resort option if it doesn't download for you. Okay, so now we have this all done. Let's go to File, Export. And now people can see the difference between the paid version and the non-paid version without being super confused about which song they're on. So we didn't create a dramatically different image. It's just a little stamp to say which one's paid. So we're going to go back to here. Let's add this picture into our directory. Boom. And then we have this image that we can add in. Boom, file uploaded. So we're going to use that for the commercial version, and the free version will have the normal 50 cent pointing at the camera, which will be $0. So basically we're going to give for free the CD quality MP3, but for paid, the multi-tracks, the WAV file, the, what else? And the 320 kbps MP3, just in case they want different versions of it. And also the non-mastered WAV, because online we're going to put up the loud version. We're not going to give them the non-master version to demo. Anyhow, so music genre, I think I leave this normal. Okay, that's just for metadata for this category, this box here. And I think that's all we need. So we don't need any comparative prices because we're not running any sale. Now the type here, let's just type in beat. The vendor is going to be your producer name, and the collection is going to be which type of beat you're going to sell. In this case, I just put hip hop. There's also type beats. So technically, hold on, y'all. All right. And then the tag is going to be, in this case, 50 cent. Okay. Maybe we'll say like hip hop, boom bap, something like that. Just keywords people might search up on Google. All right. Boom. And just like that, y'all, we have our first beat. Now we're not done. All we did so far was just create a product. So let's save this so people can buy this, but nothing's going to happen. So if we go to view, it should show us the listing here. So here's what it looks like once they go to the product page. So it says, I love you 50 cent type beat. It's free. Okay. Key F sharp minor, tempo 90. Let me move my camera over this way. So, okay, it shows the tempo. It says free version gives you this, paid version gives you that. And if they click between these two, it changes the pricing. So if I click on where it says commercial, it shows the paid version and it shows the pricing change. Okay. So that's how we can deliver. Now we're still missing the audio. So this is where the app comes in called Osaria Audio Player. Okay, so this, I forget how much that costs. You guys have to look up the details. So we're not done. We're going to go back to our product. In this case, the 50-cent beat. We're going to go to more actions. Let's go to add audio player. And then all we need to do is find the MP3 version of this song. So we're going to go to single player, meaning we only want one song to play in this thing. Let's go to add audio. We're going to name this the title. So it might be best to leave out quotation marks and any weird symbols. Okay. And then we're going to find that track wherever that is. I think it's in my Logic folder from what I remember. Yeah. So it only highlights MP3s. So here it is, I think. Okay. Boom. And boom, we're going to save it. So what this is going to do is associate this MP3 with the actual product that we just created, and it will add a music player to the product page so that people can listen to our song before they actually purchase the song. So let's go back to the product page, and if I hit refresh, it should show the new audio player. I love you. Now, if they got auto tune, they could add F sharp minor. If they want to play on the keys, they could play. That's me. So if they wanted to add piano to it, they could in the key of F minor. So you guys get the gist. And boom, you go to add cart. And this is the power of, owning your data, because now when you guys have Shopify customers, you can add them to your Flowdesk email service provider, which I talk about in the actual full course. So again, if you guys want the how to build the entire business, go to busyworksbeats.com/premium, look for faceless type beat course. That's the one you guys want to focus on. All right, so let's just test this out real quick. Let's go to add cart. We're going to add the commercial license to the cart and just look at the different checkout options. Okay, we're going to view the cart just like everybody else would. All right, so I'm just testing this, and they could check out via PayPal. Link, I think, is on here. Shop payments or whatever it's called. Basically, Shopify has every mainstream checkout process. Okay, and then if you guys are if you guys want to do like a test purchase, what I recommend you guys do is go back to your Shopify, go to where it says discounts, and create a custom code. So in this case, we're going to create a code, and then we're going to do amount off of a product. We're going to type in some random code so that nobody guesses it. Okay. Now, normally I don't click, I don't type in random stuff, but in this case I will for the video. We're going to do 100% off, and we're just going to put, really, I just don't do collect. Let's just put all, or we could just do specific products in this case, and then we'll just select the 50-cent track here. Okay, boom. All right, and then and then try it. So now during the checkout page, we should be able to apply this code, and it should go to $0. Boom, that works. And then you just add your own information and make sure you get everything. Now there's one more step that we have to add here, which is called digital downloads. So all we did so far was add a music player to our product page and give it information. We didn't actually add the MP3 or the waves to the purchase. So what we need to do, the final step, is go to another app called Digital Downloads. Okay, so Digital Downloads is another Shopify app. And here is where we can go inside of the product itself and add digital files. Okay, so these are the deliverables. Okay, and you can actually have different deliverables for the free version and the paid version. So I don't have all these multi-tracks for today, so we're going to have to just show you basic stuff here. But normally I would go into more depth. But like I said, in that course, I go through every single step about how to do all this. Okay, even how to, I think I even show how to export the multi-track. So here's the MP3, which we promised on the free version. Here's the MP3 that we promised on the paid version. So this uploads, you have to wait for it to upload. And then here's the WAV version that we promised only on the commercial version. Now for the multi-tracks, I don't think I've created those for this specific track. So we don't have those for this specific demo for today. But as you guys can see, it takes a little bit longer to load because it's a bigger file. And I'm not sure if my camera was in the way, but here are the app names. Sorry, guys. Osaria audio player, and then digital downloads. My camera might have blocked it. My bad. Okay, so now the files are uploaded. We're going to hit save. All right. Now let's go through with this little test purchase. I'm just going to enter my email, and I'll just got to pause the video real quick. All right. So I think there's even a way where we can set it up to where people have instant access to the downloads as soon as they check out. I'm not sure if I covered that in the course, but it's a little nuanced. So after I hit complete order, I'm not sure if it shows us the download link directly here. Okay, so here it says preparing your downloads. Okay, and it should offer us a download right here. We shouldn't even have to go into the actual email, so which we don't. So we see here the commercial version. So if I download this, I should see the WAV version and the MP3. If I unzip this, and then we see that, and here's the free version, pardon me, where we should only see the MP3, and boom, there it is. It worked as planned, you guys. So that is how you can create your own beat store, your own music store without using BeatStars, without using TrackTrain, without using Airbit. And again, what's the point of a middleman if they're going to just take a percentage of your stuff? You're basically driving everybody to their website where you're competing against other people. There's so many reasons why you guys want to set up your own store. Like I showed you guys, Shopify is $1 for 3 months, yo. That's literally insane. So you could do a lot in 3 months, guys. You know, I give you guys a whole game plan in this course. Okay, how to truly be independent. This isn't theory. This is actionable steps you guys can take to create your own business without needing all these middlemen. Okay, it's called Faceless Type Beat Course. Go to busyworksbeats.com/premium to learn more. And I just put you guys up on game. So all I ask is that you share this with a friend and tell them that BusyWorks Beats shared some game with you today. All right, y'all. Those are the steps. If I left anything out, again, it's probably guaranteed it's probably in the full course. I literally went through. Let me just show you guys. Hold on. All right, guys. Today. All right. So here's the back end. When you guys log into your premium accounts, here's what you guys will see once you start your Faceless Type Beat channel course at busyworksbeats.com/premium. All right. So enter the code 50 for 50% off for those who are watching this video during your checkout. So over here it says, okay, we're going through the mission, and then I even go through how to create the type beats, like the actual production. Then we go through, you know, the mentality of why 99% of type beat channels fail. So I cover like statistics. All right, guys. First thing we want to do, we cover the mini chat automations here. I cover, let me see what else we got up in here. So some of these are cookups. Let me see what this is. But a lot of these are like yoga systems building. So look, I'm showing you guys how to build your own web pages using gem pages. Hello 10. Okay, that one's more of a production video there. And then we have, basically, I'm showing you every single step like I showed you guys in this video, but this video is 77 minutes long. This video that we're recording is only what, 20 minutes? Okay, this is a full video here, 77 minutes, where it goes through literally step by step to how to set up your entire beat store without BeatStars. Okay, and that includes what we just showed you guys today. And I show you about, you know, different stuff like Flowdesk. There's another one called Freshdesk, but you don't even need that anymore because of Google's new Gemini implementation into their Gmail. Long story short, I show you guys how to create an opt-in page. Look at this, y'all. I'm putting you guys up on game. Who else is doing this? Nobody's doing this for you guys. Hello and welcome. And then I show you how to build an email list through Instagram. Okay. I'm telling you guys the stuff that I use to build my brand. Okay. And my brand, let me show you guys my stats real quick. All right. So this is our greatest growing month for YouTube subscribers. We have literally 86,000 subscribers in the last 28 days. That's literally insane. And this is from mostly long form, not just short form. Then I show you guys how to build up Flowdesk. So we actively on our new email list. This is one of our email lists. This has 171,000 active people on it. And we had 10,000 signups in the last 7 days. Okay. And then we have sent out 34 million emails with a 6.2% open rate, which is really, really good. You want to stay above 5% usually when it comes to email. And then for Instagram, I have 500,000 views and I haven't even posted on Instagram. So I'm just showing you guys there's a system to there's a method. Okay. Not to madness, but there's a method. Even on our Discord, if you guys build Discord, we have the fastest growing Discord in the music production space, with 128,981 members and growing. So I'm showing you guys real tactical steps, real technical things. The reason you guys hear a lot of rhetoric against BusyWorks Beats is because I'm the only one that I know of putting you guys up on this much game, and people consider it a threat because now I'm empowering you to compete with them. I don't see it as competition. I see it as This is the freedom that you guys should all have. I don't really understand when people ask me what platform to upload their beats on. I'm like, how archaic are we? So this is a message to the producer community. I want you guys all to be independent, powerful, and owning your brand. All right, y'all, no more middlemen all 2026. Subscribe if you're new, if you want to learn, again, how to do all this stuff, truly become independent, not just theory. Go to busyworksbeats.com/premium. I'll leave a link below. Peace out, guys.